The only good thing about being sick is that a few days afterwards during recovery, you get to sound like a badass. So, with this newfound voice, I will do a creepypasta reading. I hope you enjoy it. The Asylum, unknown author. Far beyond the reaches of our earth, amongst the eternal aether of the cosmos, last being of true power and magnitude who lay beyond the comprehension of our minds, beings that shape and warp the fabric of space, and distort the reality in which we live. To gaze upon their eyes is to gaze upon the eyes of infinity. To describe their figure is to describe the universe. To witness their power is to witness the power of the cosmos. I was only a young man when I was first stricken with the devilish fever that had previously claimed my family. I was to be considered lucky, as the great plague of bloodletting did not bring about my end. It was only the insanity and the fear of the cosmos that came with it that ailed me, and that insanity ails me to this day. To my kin, the true fever and pain of the plague would be their end. My mother was the first to go. She had sliced her wrists in a fit of hysteric madness while my sister and I were away at school. It was my father who found her, falling to her body in a futile struggle that some divine interaction would bring them back together. As it turned out, that divine interaction would simply be the contact of my mother's tainted blood. On that night, my father expired. The swelling of blood in his brain caused what at first believed to be delusions, visions of great cosmic and ethereal horrors. Fearing their awesome powers over the mind of man, he too took the blade, ending his life face down in a pool of plagued blood. My sister was awoken by the fit of the insanity and treaded barefoot in his room. But before the light of her candle could illuminate the void of the room, her feet felt the blood, and she knew. I was the only one to care for my sister, as we had no other family, having turned 14 a month prior. My sister was small and a frail child, who could be frightened merely by the sight of her own shadow. She did not last as long as mother or father, who fought the plague for nearly a week. My sister hardly lasted beyond the third day, and a part of me wishes I never witnessed the fourth. I shall refrain from describing how my sister passed, as the brutality and the gore of it left me in such a fragile mind that I was admitted to the Providence Asylum of the insane. It was there that I first began to experience the true nature of the universe and its unforgiving forces. As I mentioned, I was stricken with fits of madness and insanity, but not by the plague. If such were the case, I believe this manuscript would not be here to unleash the knowledge of horrors that hold it. It was during the first month of my admittance into the hospital that I met an artist by the name of Joseph B. Wilcox. I never learned the reason that Joseph too was admitted to the hospital, only that he felt the need to be there to protect someone, be it himself or family. He was a tall, skinny fellow, a neatly cut head of short brown hair, a pair of delicate blue eyes. His hands were soft and slender, like that of a woman, a clear sign that he preferred the intellectual arts of paint and clay, sculpting over the more physical and manual labors of other young men his age. We became quick friends, realizing that we were a much more stable bunch within the hospital. Joseph would tell stories of his life in a small village outside of Providence, whose name escapes my thought, and would often gift me small sketches of decorate drab. In the numbing room in which I'd stayed, I would tell stories of working in my family's shop behind the counter to help reach the jars of sweets that neither my mother or sister could reach, or of the kind old woman who would often came to purchase candles and soaps, and how she would always find my youthful exuberance a charming quality I should not let go of so easily. 'Twas the night of March 8th when Joseph entered my room, his footsteps slowed and monotonous as he crept to my bedside. I did not hear him enter. I only felt as he laid one of his feminine hands on my arm and shook me. When I was awake and seeing him standing over me, I shot up, frightened by the scarred and blood-stained face that stood before me. In his madness, Joseph had crafted a shift from his bed frame and carved queer sigils along his face and arm. His eyes were bloodshot, and his mouth curled into a sinister smile. He placed his shiv on my lap and laid his hand on my shoulder, whispering some sort of terrible mantra into my ear. His hand drifted to the shiv, and he beckoned me to join him in a paradise lost a millennium ago. Blood drained from my face, and I felt my arm grow cold as I witnessed a wretched abyss manifest beyond him, and what seemed like that of which is beyond a normal world. A rush of hatred and anger overtook me as I plunged the shiv into his gut. The gargling and raspy voice of my once friend slowly faded as he fell limp on the molded and rotten floor. Fear overtook as I was too terrified to remove my eyes from his body before me. When I finally broke the trance and I looked up, the asylum of which I was confined had warped into a twisted vista of blackened skies and gray earth below me. Above the vast purgatory that I stood floated a being that still haunts me in my thoughts and memories of it, and maddens me in my dreams of it, swirling, churning, gurgling, and writhing like a mass of blackened earthworms and a rotting corpse, was the Demon Sultan, who so repugantly controlled the skies and cosmos as one. I was among a land of predators, and I was not worthy enough to even be thought of as prey. I felt as the frail of my mind shattered, my eyes rotting from the sight of such an eldritch terror that no man would ever know. The wardens found Joseph's body and the shiv under my cot, and there was no fighting that was already apparent. The horrors I witnessed remain with me in life, and when my body shall soon convulge in a noose placed around my wretched throat by the hangman, so too shall the horrors assault me in death. For earth is not our home. Our earth is merely an asylum of fragile-minded who are too weak to gaze upon the awesome terror and the powers of the universe.